Hi all, welcome to this space. We're going to call this space Calm Mind. This is a place that we're going to explore to develop a place within ourself, our mind, body, soul that we want to exist in. That's calm and peaceful, all things well, all things light, all things helpful. We've been experiencing life in a way that's been very toxic and tragic and tormenting and tough. And we've been looking for a way to experience it differently. So I hope you come to find this place as a space that's what you've been looking for. Let's dig in. Why am I feeling sick, stuck? We're here today to explore this question and also have a goal in mind to practice so we can overcome this, to find solutions to it. Let's start here. Put down your defenses. Put down your fighting stance. We're all kind of in this fighting stance. We're trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to protect our loved ones. We're trying to keep things from falling apart. And we're fighting the world and we're fighting ourselves. We're afraid of negative emotions, and we're honestly sick and tired of being sick and tired. When we're feeling sick and tired, we feel it physically, emotionally, we have mental unclarity, and this just keeps us distracted and stuck in the same cycle. So how do we get unstuck? I'm going to take you through a process I call C.C.V.A.S.S. The first C is calm breath. The second C is calm mind. Then B is for validation, A for acceptance, and S for solution focus or Shelve. This process is exactly that, a process to help us work through these ideas and situations that keep us stuck so we can develop more clarity and direction. You'll hear me often say, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And this is why, if we're having an issue, we want to look at that. We want to develop a direction, and we want to have goals to keep us steering down that path and exploring well. So here we go. Calm mind. Nope. Let's back up. Calm breath. What is important to understand about this calm breath is there's an analogy. If you're on a plane and it loses oxygen or the cabin pressure, which is the oxygen, that you have to grab that little thing out of that falls from above that deploys and gives you oxygen. That oxygen is what keeps you alive. And to take that even a step further, usually in life, we're trying to, help others, protect others. But the idea here is that we need to put on that oxygen mask first before we can help anybody else. So I'd like you to do that with me now. The idea for this breath is you'll hear many different breaths explained, and whatever works for you works for you. But for those who haven't developed a way, here's one for simplicity. We take a breath all the way in. We hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and we release all the way out. The important thing about this breath is that it gives us it gives us a reset. It gives us a moment of wellness, a moment to just kind of catch our breath. And here's why. If you've ever heard of cortisol, that is our stress hormone. Although it's given a very bad rap, it's there for a very good reason, and this would be for fight or flight. There's an imminent risk of danger to our lives, and we need to go into action and respond to save our lives and the ones that, the people around us, the people we care about. And so what happens is a trigger goes off and it sets us off so that that happens. Well, in many cases, it's not life or death. It's just some situation happened to us that kind of was a hard hit. It was painful. It was scary. It was frustrating. It was sad. We felt shame. We felt guilt. We felt these negative, unhelpful emotions. And what that did was it hit the same trigger and it sets off this alarm inside of us, where all of our senses kind of come to a head. And it's like, what is going on? So what I'd like you to know about this is when we notice that and we take this deep breath, that right there allows us a reset. A few things happen in this reset. One, we get a dose of oxygen that goes to our body and it feels really good. That hits our dopamine, our reward center. It's a feel-good hormone that's released inside of us that says, ooh, okay, this feels good. This is better. Like, I like this. So we set that off. Another thing we do is when we take that deep breath, physiologically, it sends a message to our body that we are actually not in a life or death situation. And here's why. If we were in a life or death situation, we would be breathing fast. Our heartbeat would increase, and our minds, our ideas, our thoughts would increase. It starts moving at a faster pace. So when we take this breath, that breath counteracts that. It slows everything down to another pace where we can process through things better and have more clarity. Once we understand this and allow ourselves these breaths, this calm breath, that oxygen, we've reset the pace, and now we can start resetting the tone. The goal to practice to explore, to bring this into practice, is to 1, practice it intentionally, first thing in the morning, halfway through the day, and once before bed. When we practice intentionally, we set in new habits and new routines, and this helps us better bring it into a being, like a practice. The second part of this goal would be to practice this anytime you feel a negative emotion come up. Practice taking the deep breath in, taking that oxygen in, realizing that wasn't just a life or death incident, situation, feeling that you just experienced, and that you're actually here. You have a reset, and we get to learn how to move forward, explore moving forward. Lastly, in practicing this goal, is to affirm to yourself after you take this breath that I am safe. I choose calm. This just reminds our body and our system. It's a secondary. The first notification is taking that breath. That sends a signal to our body to relax. But then we go back and we affirm and we let our body know that I am indeed safe. There's no fire happening. There's nobody with a weapon here to harm me. I, at this moment, am safe, and I choose to be calm. This will lead us to our next practice of calm mind. I hope you enjoyed your time here today and look forward to having you join us in part 2, Calm Mind. There we will explore supporting, encouraging, creating a space within ourselves where we talk to ourselves well, where we support ourselves, we encourage and guide ourselves, where we can go to explore things in light, not in darkness, in wellness, not in sickness, in hope and not in fear. See you there.